Very low.
Live from Painesville, hello and welcome to Elbc Newsline. Today it's Friday, March 6th, 2026, and I'm Grace Tower presenting in the headlines.
Marks another significant milestone in the administrative partnership between
Liberia and Japan signed over 2 billion Japanese yen deal to reconstruct Freeport to Gibraltar Bridge corridor. Liberia congratulates Ghana on the occasion marking the country's 69th independence anniversary today. 2025, 16,525 households. Liberian women joined their global counterparts to commemorate International Women's Day. And in foreign news, Indonesia to ban social media for children under 16. These stories plus many other developments are all coming up, including our regular features. So first, the news bulletin with Nakita Rabbit.
The government of Liberia and Japan have signed an over 2 billion Japanese yen road contract with the Nippon construction in Japan. The contract will see the rehabilitation and construction of the Freeport to Gibraltar Bridge Road Corridor. Deputy Public Works Minister for Technical Services, Prince Tamba, signed on behalf of the government of Liberia. Deputy Minister Tamba expressed appreciation to the Foreign Ministry and Liberia's ambassador to Japan, Edward Appeton, for sustaining the country's bilateral partnership.
this corridor serves as an essential gateway to the port area and connects key economic zones within the city of Monrovia, including strategic crossing at the Gibraltar Bridge.
According to Minister Tamba, the project will significantly improve mobility. The Deputy Public Works Minister also noted that the initiative will address the persistent flooding challenges along critical corridors leading to the Gibraltar Bridge. President Joseph Boakai has congratulated the government and people of Ghana on the occasion of the 69th independence anniversary of that country. In a message to his Ghanaian counterpart, John Dramani Mahama, President Boakai reflected on Ghana's long but determined journey towards sustainable development and democratic consolidation. The Liberian leader noted with pride the remarkable progress and democratic gains Ghana have achieved over the years. He expressed hope that the cordial ties of friendship and cooperation between the two sisterland nations will be further strengthened as they continue to collaborate within regional and international framework. President Boakai prayed that God will continue to endow President Mahama with abundant wisdom and strength as he leads the people of Ghana toward greater prosperity. Gender Minister Benny Harris Colley has outlined several flagship initiatives undertaken by government to address structural inequalities that affected Liberian women in past years. Minister Horace Colley named the Liberia Women Empowerment Program and the Realize Project as key initiatives government is using to support hundreds of women entrepreneurs and farmers. Speaking at activities marking International Women's Day on Friday in Painesville, the gender minister noted that more than 500 communities in 22 districts are currently benefiting from the initiative.
The backbone of Liberia's informal economy, only approximately 55% of
According to her, these initiatives are expanding income generating opportunities for Liberia's vulnerable population while contributing to poverty reduction in the country. Meanwhile, the gender minister has assured Liberian women of government's determination to empower women and strengthen communities across the country. Youth and Sports Minister Antonin Cornelia Kura has recounted significant strides made by the government in empowering women and girls, especially in leadership. Minister Cross said, unlike in previous years, Liberian women and girls are now seen in managerial positions, both in public and private sectors. She made reference to her position as Youth and Sports Minister and other positions that women are occupying in government, including the Ministries of Education, Health, Gender, among others. Minister Kra, however, noted that despite these strides, more needs to be done in protecting the rights and dignity of women and girls in Liberia.
But while we make those strides, we cannot deny that there is still more to be done. More to be done towards sustaining these gains. So that it's not just one time. But Liberia will comes and make a history and then leaves. It doesn't happen for the next 10 to 20 years.
According to her, women in Liberia still face what she termed as marginalization, domestic violence, rape, and other social activities, while calling for a holistic effort to minimize these issues. Minister Crown made the assertion Friday in Painesville at the official celebration of this year's International Women's Day under the national theme Give to Gain. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has renewed calls for increased women's representation in politics and national leadership. Madam Sirleaf says the current low number of women in the Liberian legislature should serve as a wake-up call for deliberate efforts to boost female participation in governance. She believes Liberian women are capable and well prepared to assume greater leadership responsibilities and contribute meaningfully to national development.
Africa, like others worldwide, has adopted a quota system or other legal political action to ensure that women are equitably represented in the legislative system. I know that the vote for women is to be a competitive endeavor.
Madam Sirleaf made the remarks last Thursday when she appeared as a special guest before members of the House of Representatives. The former president wants Liberia to emulate other African countries for increased women leadership and participation in national leadership. Government has announced significant progress being made in 3 of the 6 pillars of the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development under a period of 1 year. These pillars include economic transformation, infrastructure development, and the rule of law component of the AAID. According to a cabinet secretariat release, these declarations form part of a special cabinet meeting chaired by President Joseph Boakai on Thursday in Monrovia. Under the economic transformation pillar, the release is reporting improved macroeconomic stability and domestic revenue collection, as well as increased financial inclusion and expanded agricultural output. In the release, the cabinet underscored rapid road rehabilitation and expansion, improvements in water supply distribution systems, and expanded digital connectivity under the infrastructure development pillar. The cabinet also acknowledged progress under the rule of law component of the agenda, including improving justice delivery through the creation of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and expansion of prison facilities. The Senate has summoned several ministries and agencies of government to provide updates on the status of volunteer teachers, health workers, and the teaching of civics in Liberian schools. The entities include the Ministry of Health, Education, Finance, and the Civil Service Agency. In his communication, Bapolo County Senator Amara Conan pleaded with plenary to ensure health authorities provide updates on the total number of volunteer health workers in clinics and hospitals across the country. Senator Conan also wants health authorities provide statistics on the number of volunteers formerly placed on the national payroll in the 2025-2026 fiscal period. At the same time, the Education Ministry has been invited to explain why civic education is not fully implemented in our public and private schools across the country. Meanwhile, authorities of the institutions are expected to appear before the Senate Committee of the Whole next week, Tuesday. At the same time, the executive director and board of directors of the National Identification Registry have been cited by the Senate to update the public on the suspension of the issuance of the National Citizens Identification Cards. It follows a communication from Riverside County Senator Wellington Jevon Smith on Thursday. According to our legislative reporter, Senator Jevon Smith said the unexplained suspension of the issuance of the citizens' identification cards undermine moral business transactions. That's normal business transactions. He noted that the situation is posing serious difficulties to citizens across the country to carry out transactions at banks and critical institutions. Meanwhile, the authorities are expected to appear before the Senate Committee on State Enterprises to report to plenary within 2 weeks. The Liberia National Police, LMP, in Toby District has launched a manhunt for 30-year-old Othello Jackson for the alleged sexual assault of a pregnant woman in Tottenville Township. The victim told Elbc that the incident occurred on February 14 at her residence where suspect Jackson had gone to visit her that night. She narrated that the suspect held her mouth and prevented her from shouting while carrying on the act and later escaped the scene. Our correspondent said to date the survivor remains vulnerable without any medical checkup or intervention by any rights group. Police preliminary investigation has confirmed that suspect Jackson is still hiding within the community. The 14th Judicial Circuit Court in Riverside County has set free Amanda Jacobs from a murder case involving one Bobby Brown. According to our correspondent, Mr. Jacobs was free on Wednesday following a unanimous not guilty verdict by jurors during the February term of court. Our correspondent said on March 5 of last year, Emmanuel was allegedly accused of murdering Bobby when a conflict ensues between the two of them. The incident happened in Sayetown Central Riverside Statutory District when Emmanuel hit a stick on the neck of Bobby as the deceased was in the process of picking up his slipper. Emmanuel Jacobs was arrested, investigated, and forwarded to court by state security personnel in Riverside County. In another development, the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, LTA, has concluded an awareness on international mobile equipment identity in Riverside County. The awareness, according to our correspondent, is part of LTA nationwide consultation to solicit citizens' views on its new regulation. Our correspondent said the regulation to be introduced by LTA shortly is a unique 15-digit code that every mobile user in Liberia will have. He said the regulation, among other things, will deal with phone theft and the importation of substandard phones on the Liberian market. And the Civil Service Agency, CSA, has given March 12, 2026 a deadline for any employees transfer to the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated, LNTI. CSA Director General Dr. Josiah Jokat said after March deadline, no employee will have the opportunity to take transfer to the LNTI. Dr. Jokat stated that the government intends to provide an opportunity for employees at the Ministry of Transport to take employment at the company or remain in its employ. Speaking at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, the CSA boss said the option for employees to transfer to LCMR is voluntary and not mandatory.
Many thanks, Nakita Roberts. She makes a return later with the weather and our international developments. One of the big stories we following this afternoon, Liberian women joined their global counterparts to commemorate International Women's Day. The government continues to take steps to improve road infrastructure across the country. Following a productive week of engagement in Tokyo, Japan, the Liberian government has secured an over 2 billion Japanese yen contract with Dai Nippon Construction. Deputy Public Works Minister for Technical Services, Prince Tamba, represented the Liberian government at the signing ceremony Friday.
With the generous support of the government of Japan, Liberia continues